We go to Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin against the Dogs.
Yeah, is this a recent rebranding? Because I guess we never really had an official name. They were sort of unofficially the War Dogs.
Yeah.
But now they are the Dogs, which I don't know how I feel about that.
This also probably isn't the best week to be promoting yourselves as the War Dogs, I would think.
True.
But they are going as the Dogs. Like that is clear.
It's maybe the name I don't have so much of an issue with, but it's the fact that now Gabe Kidd comes out crawling on all fours that I feel like is a little bit too much, a little bit too on the nose, you know?
What if they are actually dogs? Like that's the gimmick.
Christened as animals. Yeah, I don't know if that like the crawling on all fours is so necessary from Kidd. Like it works for a Rick Steiner in the 90s, but I don't think Gabe Kidd needs to do that.
Okay, well, it's all he should borrow from Rick Steiner. So
yeah,
they brawl before the bell rings ringside, and Kidd is hanging Orange Cassidy in this guillotine on the stairs. And then he releases, and with Orange Cassidy on the stairs, Connors runs up the steps, spearing Cassidy through a table in the timekeeper's area. So normally you would think this guy's like out for a week. He was down for about 4 minutes before he would stagger to the apron and gets the hot tag. It's 2-on-1 against Darby until Cassidy can return. Darby did that spot where he's seated on the top rope and then shoved like ass over tea kettle and just smashes his head on the apron as he comes down.
Poor neck, yeah.
Cassidy comes in, double Rana to the Dogs, and then hits a PK beach break combo. Kidd's in for the stave. There's this great stun dog into a code red combo. Like Cassidy and Darby, whenever they team up, these guys are just tremendous partners together. Backpack stunner, satellite DDT to Connors, and then with Darby hitting the coffin drop to both on the floor, Clark is sent back in, orange punch, and Cassidy pins Clark Connors at 7 minutes and 15 seconds. And quickly, the Dogs are not alone because in comes David Finlay with a shillelagh. Literally today on the New Japan broadcast, we had Chris Charlton stating that we don't know the status of David Finlay. He's taking some time to himself right now. And yes, all he needed to do was see the Aaron Wolf booking, and he made up his mind in several hours. And here he is joining his Dogs. And they attack them with the shillelagh and stack them on top of each other. So there they are. David Finlay in. I mean, how did AEW find room for another person here? They signed him away.
We'll let the Dogs in. Am I right?
Yes.
No. My kid just suddenly got into that song. The big at daycare right now.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, they're into retro radio. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. I thought Finley's reaction was okay here. Like, I don't know if he was like even the level of reaction of like a Tommaso Ciampa, in my opinion. But of course, like he is a name, you're talking about like somebody who was a main eventer in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And I think putting him with Connors and Kidd feels natural. And at this point seems to complete this new faction. But I do hope that like for Kidd and Connor's sake, like it doesn't mean that they're pushed down a level like in their own group, because you can argue Gabe Kidd is more accomplished in AEW and maybe more well known to an AEW audience than David Finlay is, and I certainly see a bit more upside in Gabe Kidd than I do David Finlay. But you're getting a great talker, and I think as a group there's a lot of potential for like trio storytelling, including maybe a future rivalry with the Bang Bang Gang whenever they all get healthy.
I was gonna say you got Finlay and Jay White under one roof again.
Juice.
And Juice too, yeah. Like so, it's like that whole generation of like Americans.
You got basically every
Europeans.
iteration of the Bullet Club from the past like 3 years, and you could bring in the Good Brothers if you wanted to.
You don't need the Good Brothers at this point.
Okay.
Drilla's the one. He's sticking around in New Japan. So. The Post Wrestling Cafe is your one-stop shop for all of the coverage that Post Wrestling has to offer. 2 big rewind-aways this month with WWF Insurrection from May of 2002. This UK-only pay-per-view featured the Raw brand going overseas and ending with the infamous plane ride from hell. Then we're going to take a look at AWA's Super Sunday from April of 1983. A new edition of Talk Can Be Yours, plus MCU Later, Book Club, and coverage of UFC 326, TNA Sacrifice, and of course, XL editions of Rewind to Raw, Dynamite, and SmackDown with all the news of the day. Join now at postwrestlingcafe.com.